Bad fine as she wanna, looking like she spent some time on a corner.
What's up, everybody? Anthony Rudolph here, and welcome to episode 2 of Born to Create. So Born to Create, it's about creativity, guys. It's about if who or what you want to be doesn't exist, go out there and create it. So I'm excited today. I got my boy Nile Riv here, one of my favorite musicians in the world in underground hip hop. So we're going to talk to him about his dreams, his passion, and show you why he's born to create.
Born to create, born to live, born to survive, born to give. We born, hey, we born. Born to create, born to live, born to survive, born to give. We born.
So, Mr. Riv, thank you for coming to the show, my friend.
Man, I appreciate you. Glad to be here.
No worries. So, tell us a little bit about Riv, you know, who you are, where you come from, and a little bit about your musical background.
Okay, well, my name is Nile. That was actually the name that my mother gave me. Streets gave me Riv, so you put the two together, you get Nile River like that, also known as Young Riv. Man, I guess I would say that I'm an artist, you know, a songwriter, a producer, and now I'm starting to dabble into film, going into that area. And I think my inspiration and the reason why I was, you know, born to create, as you say, comes from my family. You know, my father had a musical background. He played in bands, toured with groups like the Commodores. My uncle, he played in, you know, groups for, you know, rock bands back in the day. So it just was around me. You know, I had an uncle who was a DJ, and you know, I just kind of picked it up. You know, and I didn't really have a voice to sing, so you know, my way that I expressed myself was through rapping, you know, MCing. But by the time I got to high school, you know, that's really when I start kind of really, you know, taking it serious and realizing that this was actually a job, this was actually a career, it could be a career path for me. So, you know, I started recording professionally as a teenager, but you know, pressures from the family, you getting older, hey, man, what you gonna do with yourself, man? That's cool that you're doing shows at the House of Blues and you got videos online, but dude, you know, you need to bring home some bacon, you know? So that kind of stuff happened. So I went and got me a regular 9-to-5 job, corporate America, and it's been great. You know, it's been able to provide, you know, a stable living for me, and I became a homeowner at the age of 22, and you know, just making nice big decisions and moves like that. But that creativity inside you never goes away.
Amen.
And so there's a movie that I watched. It's called Ip Man. It's basically a kung fu movie. What basically is, the metaphor that I took from it is he is like a kung fu master in the city, and he has the ability to save his city from the invaders with his kung fu skills, but he never wants to use it. And people have to remind him of the greatness that's inside him before he was able to, you know, actually do what he needs to do to save his people. And that's kind of how I feel at work. You know, I feel like I'm in this 9-to-5 situation, and I feel like low-key I know inside I'm Superman, but everyone keeps treating me like Clark Kent, you know? So I had to realize that this job that I took on to do for this tech company is not gonna be a vehicle to get me to where I wanna go. If I wanna be a millionaire, if I wanna create a billion-dollar company, they're not gonna be the assistance or the pathway for me to get there. I had to create the lane myself. So basically what I did was I decided to use them as a tool, you know. Every check that I got, you know, I would invest in equipment, you know, cameras, I would invest in mics, I would invest in, you know, production equipment, software. And just over time, man, you give it a year, you look back and you have everything you need now to start putting your products out, you know. Develop and establish your LLC, create your business name, you know, register, get your paperwork right, because that's going to be the first steps to getting you to where you need to go. So that's what path I'm on right now.
Right. Good path. So let's go back a little bit, because I've known you for years. I mean, I can't remember who we met. So you were in a very hot group in IE.
That's true.
And in my opinion, this is my opinion, that you were the best rapper, the best MC in the group from day one.
Appreciate you.
So talk a little bit about how you got into that group and how that brought you to where you are today.
Well, I'm gonna be dating myself, but I used to, before there was CDs and MP3s, we used to make actual physical tapes. So I used to record on these tapes, and you know, you would buy a single, and on the back of the single they would have instrumental tracks. So I used to just take those instrumentals and I would rap over them, make these songs in my room. And they started circulating around school, you know, and I started doing school talent shows. And I would always introduce myself as, you know, I'm Nile, I rap, this is what I do. And I remember one of my homies taking me around my school at the time was Cane Springs. Moval, what's up? But yeah, and they would take me around all the different crews who rapped, and I would rap for everybody. So eventually my tape got into the hands of some of the most prominent people in my city, and they contacted me, asked me to be on an album. I started with that and just been doing it ever since, you know. But I always been in a group setting. So in a group setting, my role was basically just to write my verse, write the hook of the song, pass it along. You know, I was more of like a passenger in a bus. I wasn't really in control of my own destiny. I kind of left that into the hands of other people. Right. So when the bills were being made and money was being brought to the table, I was never really a factor in anything, you know. And as you get older, you start to think like, well, if I continue to operate this way, I'm gonna always get the short end of the stick. Right. And I had to deal with my fear. I had to overcome my fear. I had to overcome my procrastination, which are some of my weak points, you know, because, you know, your mind starts to play self-doubt. Right. You know, oh, can you really be, you know, on a solo tip? Are you really able or good enough? Will people understand what you're trying to say or what you're trying to do? And I had to learn not to compare my success or my blessings to anybody else. Just go ahead and do it, and whatever God has for me will be for me, you know? And so, you know, I took first steps, you know, by just making that decision. I have to credit my homeboy, my big homeboy Fau, Boho Fau, which basically, he's like my mentor. He kind of poured into me. And what I mean by that is when we would record and do songs, he allowed me to experiment, you know? Hey, now you should try to sing this instead of rapping. Hey, now you should try to do the whole verse like this instead of that. And when I started, you know, exploring my creative abilities, I started realizing that, wow, everything that I thought I could do, I really can do, you know? Hey, now you should try to produce, you know, make your own beats, you know, learn piano. And I also had another good homeboy, his name is D-Rez, shout out D-Rez. He kind of let me know that, that I've been around this industry for so long, you know, that basically that you've seen more and you've experienced more than most of these cats out here. So basically, you have all the tools that you need to be successful. Just go out and do it. And when you go out and you step out on faith and you put a product out for the world, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's you know, a new hair product line, you have to be strong enough and secure enough in yourself to take the love that you're going to receive from people, as well as the hate and the criticism, you know? Because not everybody's going to understand what you're called to do, but you still have to step out on faith and do it, because there's enough people in this world that's going to be touched by what you do. You know?
And what I found is that most people don't understand your vision because it's not their vision, so they can't see it the way you see it. So I've learned that as well. You mentioned that you had some self-doubt in your ability to actually go out there and make things happen. 95% of the people in this world are not doing what they want to do because of self-doubt. And that self-doubt leads to fear. And fear can put you in a grave.
That's true.
It can paralyze you. You mentioned that your big homie Fau was instrumental in helping you get to where you were. So talk to me about how you overcame my self-doubt. Was it Fau? Was it reading? Was it friends? I mean, how did you get past that? Because so many people don't get past that. They stay stuck in that self-doubt.
I attribute it all to God, first and foremost, because I believe that God uses people in your life to get a message through sometimes. And so God has placed some really beautiful people around me, including yourself, man, you know, including yourself. Because real talk, like, I used to watch MTV back in the day, and I would see them making these videos and all that stuff. And back in the day, you know, it cost hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to shoot these videos. And that was always a dream of mine, you know, starting with watching Michael Jackson making a Thriller, you know, I mean, just going back that far. And so I finally was able to realize that dream once I connected with you when we shot our first video, which was Playa. You can check that out on YouTube. But, you know, God puts people in your life that will help you along the way. You know, once you make that decision to believe in yourself, once you make that decision to take action and take the first step, you might not make $1 million overnight, but even if you make an extra $100 or $100,000 more than you had before, that's better than nothing. And that fear really, for a lot of years, kept me in my room, kept me looking out the window, kept me watching everybody else partake when I knew that I was capable to partake, but too scared to jump in. And so, you know, I read a lot of books as well, you know, along with the Bible, but a lot of books that helped me get along that path. And so I think that's the first thing I had to deal with, and I still battle with it.
Yeah, of course. I think everybody does. I mean, that's like a lifetime battle, you know, self-doubt and not letting that fear creep up and just grab you by the neck and choke you out. Because I mean, even to this day, you know, even though we're doing better things, we're still fearful sometimes. You know, if it's a part of life. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has concepts. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to sing, wants to rap, wants to be an MC, wants to be an actor, actress. But I've seen there's a lack of execution and people going after their dreams and what they want.
That's true.
And how important is it that people watching, if they have a dream, a concept, or something bigger than themselves, is to execute? Don't sit and wait, because like you know, Berkeley says, you know, Father Time is undefeated. You know, you will get old one day, and your body gets old, but your dreams never die. Yeah, that's true. Never die. So you can be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, your dreams never die. So how important has execution played in your life, and why should people take action and execute right now?
Well, I kind of have this theory, and I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like visions are kind of like the pathway to what needs to be brought into the world. So you have to visualize yourself in the ultimate situation that you want to be. If it's creating that company, if it's shooting that movie, if it's recording that song, if it's just performing on the specific dance stage, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, you definitely have to visualize and see yourself there first. Once you visualize it, you start to believe that you actually can put yourself in that situation, and you'll watch the lanes open. But see, if you get paralyzed by fear or self-doubt, or you take too long to question and mutter with the ideal too long, that ideal has to manifest itself in this world somehow. So somebody else will get that same very idea. You don't know how many times I've turned on the radio and I said, oh, he's doing what I'm doing. Or he used that sample I was getting ready to use. Oh, but I took too long, you know? And that had to come out in the world. So you definitely have to start where you are. You have to do what you can where you're at and start it. If it's not the end goal, that starting position and that step that you take is better than nothing. It's better than sitting and watching everybody else play.
Right, you know? Right. So it sounds to me that you have the end goal in mind when you start, because you can actually see the finish line. So that helps you keeps you going every day. Keeps you going, because I can see where I want to go. And even when we have to do things to create income for our family, we're cool because we know it's temporary, and we know we can see the finish line. That's true. And it's nothing like having that vision of where you're going to be in your head day in and day out. And I've seen it in you since day one. Appreciate that. So yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's been an awesome experience working with you. And guys, we have a film coming out pretty soon that we're working on. So we've been working together for a long time doing videos. I don't rap or sing, so I've been on the production side. So we're finally linking up and doing this really cool project. So you guys will see it pretty soon. But we're gonna link up his video Playa in the description, so check it out. Give the boy some love, and yeah, man. I mean, anything else you want to add before we get to the lightning round?
Issues of Life, that's my first project. It's available on iTunes. You also can search it out. I have a Bandcamp link where you can purchase that. I'm working on a new project with my boy Boho Fau, the Twofold project. That should be coming this year. We're putting actually the mastering on that now. We're gonna be shooting a few more videos you'll be seeing. And I got a new company. I'm putting out 19 Dynasty. It's my
19
new
Dynasty.
company. And just gonna be dropping everything that I do from this point on, you know, independently. And I respect a lot of people out there. I'm gonna go back to hip hop because that's my profession, but you know, I respect some of the independent grinds out there like Tech Nine, Nipsey Hussle, Chance the Rapper, and some of the structures that they've actually established, you know, the direct to product and market lane where basically you don't need a middleman anymore. The internet is opening it up to where you can get your product directly to your consumers now. Build your fan base, you know, and keep in touch with them, you know, gather their email information, you know, give them content on a regular basis, be consistent, because once you build that fan base, that's your responsibility to maintain that and grow it, you know, grow the business.
Yeah, and being consistent is key. You know, I can't tell you how many times that I failed because I was not consistent in seeing that project out to the very end. And that's one thing that I had to change in my life is say, hey, if I want this to grow, if I want this to be what I want it to be, I have to be consistent in everything I do. Even if it's not producing income right now, you're planting seeds, guys. And you water that seed by continuing to grind and hustle and make sure that what you're doing is going to provide and make sense for your family. But be consistent in what you're doing. Don't look at the right here and now, look at the finish line. That's why it's called faith. You know, faith is stuff that you really can't see here and now, but you can feel it and you know it's there. So we'll link up all the videos, all the SoundCloud, so you can check my boy out and support his projects, support what he's doing. So now we have something called the lightning round. All right. Ready? All right. Let me grab my phone and get. So pretty simple, pretty easy. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and just the first thing comes to mind. You know, no thinking, just shoot them out. Shoot them out. Shoot them out. All right. So, this is a championship game, right? Basketball game. There are 3 seconds left on the clock. All right. You the coach. Oh, okay. Coach. You the coach. Who gets the ball? Jordan or Kobe? Jordan all day. Jordan all day? All day. All day. Okay. Okay. All right. Similar question. Michael Jordan Bulls or Kobe Bryant Lakers? It's a hard one. I'm going to go with the Lakers because I'm LA all day. But in the 90s, man, I was a huge Bull fan. Yeah, you know? Okay. Got a lot of flack for that, too. Yeah, so did I. Pepsi or Coke? I'm going to go with Coke. You go with Coke? Yeah, I'm going to go with Coke. Okay. All right. Tupac or Biggie? Tupac. Tupac. That man changed my life. We used to study his music like it was the dictionary, man. Is that right? Yeah. Tupac. Okay. All right. And here's a funny one. Okay. If you wrote a book about failure, if it didn't sell, would it make it a success? Yes, because I executed and I still put my vision out. And it's sometimes, you know, how many people receive it does not gauge the success. Sometimes the success is just seeing something through, you know. So I would definitely be proud of myself if I did something like that. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, my man, I appreciate you coming to the show. For sure, you got to come back and follow up pretty soon. Definitely. So, my boy Nile Riv, you know, support his project, Born to Create. So, if who or what you want to be doesn't exist, go out there and create it because God created you to create. We'll see you guys soon. Bye. See you soon, y'all. Born to Create.